Hey everyone, checking back in on cryptocurrencies, BTC, ETH, and LTC. Starting with Bitcoin here, we do need to be weary, not too weary, because the bulls are extremely strong, but we're watching this all-time high up at 1350, and we came shy by less than $3. So at this point, I refer to that as a double top. Not exact, but obviously when you're talking $3 out of a $1,300 instrument, that is close enough in my opinion. So it is a bearish reversal doji at that top, and that's when the open and the close are the same price. So that is a clear resistance level and a bearish reversal doji if we do consolidate, as long as we form a higher low. And when I'm referring to a higher low, I'm looking at the low of the last consolidation. So here we pulled back and bounced off of 11.99. So if we consolidate and form any higher low above 11.99, that keeps the bulls in control, as we've just been forming slow and steady higher lows and higher highs this whole bounce to the upside over the past month. So the bulls are still extremely strong. Obviously, the ideal scenario for a bull is blue sky breakout, and the reason for that is because there is a lack of previous price history to be going off of. There's no resistance levels. It's all just what psychological round numbers in terms of resistance. So we'll look at 1360, we'll look up to 1375, 1400 if we can break this double top level. So again, 11.99 clear support, 1350 clear resistance. Bulls want to break through that level, the sooner the better, to get rid of that double top. And let's look at LTC, because LTC is a double top as well at its all-time high. And when I'm looking at all of these, I'm looking at them with regards to the US dollar. So here on LTC, that resistance is 1736, and we're looking up at 1728. We formed a lower high by 8 cents, and now we're pulling back. So anytime you see a double top, that's when people start taking some profit. They say, okay, if I sell now, maybe I can reload lower, or I'll take my profit. And the low of this consolidation is a key level. So the high and the resistance, and now the low is the key support. That's down at 1423. So there's their channel right there. And if we get a bear break, it will be a bit more concerning for the bulls because of that double top. But if we can hold this low of consolidation, bulls establish themselves, try and make another move to the upside. You can see that big, long lower wick with bulls buying the dip off of that. Nice bounce there. But we haven't seen any follow through on that bounce. So we have to see a new all-time high in order for the bulls to see strong continuation. And look what happens when a new all-time high occurs. It's just a straight shot to the upside. It's what we call blue sky breakout. And obviously, like I said, ideal scenario for the bulls, but just huge moves to the upside. And Bitcoin, we can look back when Bitcoin was hitting all-time highs, it just ran straight to the upside. And now ETH is doing the same thing. Look at the past 3 days, monster move. So I want to always be transparent here, where I do have an ETH position, and I initiated it 6 days ago, last Saturday. And my reason for initiating it was I started doing some more research, and I'm not usually a fundamental kind of guy, but in the realm of cryptocurrency, admittedly, I'm not very fundamentally savvy. So I was reading some articles and seeing the upcoming catalysts in the short term that would push us over this all-time high. So I was looking at 58.99 and knowing that we need to break that level to be in a blue sky breakout. I was seeing that we had consolidated, formed a base of support, and started an uptrend from there. And the uptrend started once we started forming higher lows and higher highs, and once we broke these lower highs. So you can see when we consolidated from the previous all-time high, we had the high, the low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, just consolidating and pulling back. We built this base of support. As soon as we broke this level here of 47.53, that's when the lower high pattern broke. And then we started forming higher lows and higher highs. So the game plan behind my trade was entering back here on the 22nd. And I figured, okay, we have some near-term catalysts. If we get that blue sky breakout, my gains are going to be really nice. So the reward aspect of the trade was high. And in terms of the risk, I was looking down at this low of consolidation, and I was saying, okay, if this level breaks without breaking a new all-time high, I want to be out, because that's a very clear support level. That would be my exit, and that was down at 41. So entering here, I entered just under $50, just right around $50, and I immediately assumed, okay, worst case scenario, I'm going to lose 22% if that gets stopped out. So when I entered the trade, I assumed that that money's gone. That's just the mindset that I have. Okay, I can fully accept that I'm going to lose 22% on this trade if it does not work out. And that would have been my stop loss level. I would manage my risk in that regard. And I knew that if we got a blue sky breakout, that the reward would be greater than a 22% risk. So here we are now, up 50% in less than a week. And obviously a really nice move to the upside. So personally, I do believe there is likely to be a sell the news event. When you have news and the date anticipated, You get the psychology of traders where everybody is loading, heading into the news, and then they sell when that news comes out. And I see it in every sector, and most notably in the MJ sector. Been playing that for the past 6-7 years, and we see it every time with the votes in November when we have states passing. The polls tell us what's going to happen on those votes before they ever happen. So when the final vote verdict comes out, we see everybody sell. And so many people are always taken by surprise when that happens. But you have to figure the market is smart. The market is pricing in these moves, pricing in that bullish news. And then the news comes out. I believe we got Monday for this news here on Ethereum. So I do anticipate a sell the news reaction, especially after a run up to the upside here. And I'm going to be personally, my game plan for Ethereum is I really like the long-term perspective here, but the kind of volatility here as a trader, I'm not going to pass that up. So I am going to be selling and reloading and adding more. I'm going to be reinvesting my profits. I'm going to see how many coins I can build up here. So as of right now, the bulls are in full control. We're in blue sky breakout. When I want to get more detailed information besides looking at the daily chart, I will zoom into the hourly, and the hourly chart is a friend of mine. So looking at the hourly chart, I can see a clear support is the low of this consolidation. That's where the bulls built a low and where they turned things around and headed to a new all-time high. So this is a very important support in the short term. It's 66.07. We saw a bounce. We rejected, and then we bounced off of 66. So that's a double low at that consolidation, and then the bulls showed back up, broke the all-time high, and saw continuation. So we're looking up at round psychological numbers, 78, 80, 85, $100 would be a nice clear round psychological number. So we'll see how much run we get here. We have 3 days to go until Monday. And if we run for the next 3 days, I would absolutely expect to sell the news reaction. So we'll have to see how it all plays out. We'll be watching the candlestick shapes for the psychology on when profit taking is going to occur. This is a bearish reversal spinning top that led to brief consolidation. We did have a bearish reversal candlestick earlier on the daily time frame today when we were in the midst of this consolidation, but we need to wait for those candlesticks to close. It's the close that is important, and by the time the day closed, it was just a big raging bull candlestick, big bull volume. So pretty much bulls in full control, and we're watching that key support on the hourly time frame down at 66 even, and we're going to keep checking back in. I'm certainly pumped on the cryptocurrency sector now. 50% in 1 week will certainly do that. So I'm going to be covering these a lot more. And what I really like is that we don't close here. We're 24/7, so I can do these videos whenever I want. Whereas when I'm doing my stock market videos, I have to wait till the end of the day and the close. Not the case for cryptocurrencies. So going to stick with these 3 names. They seem to be the most popular at this point. And by all means, give me any feedback. I appreciate it. And we will continue to make those profits. I appreciate you watching, and I hope you have a great weekend.